Sound check. 1, 2, 3.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's agenda briefing forum. This evening is not a decision-making forum, it is a briefing on the agenda of the Ordinary Council meeting, which will be held next Tuesday, the 22nd of July. I'd like to remind everyone in the chambers to please ensure that comments are respectful to the Council and all meeting attendees, including city officers and those in our public gallery. Please note this meeting is being live streamed. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Item 3 is announcements. There are none this evening. Item 4 is attendance, and all councillors are present in the chamber this evening. Item 5, disclosures of interest. Are there any councillors with an interest to disclose? Councillor Ladder.
Thank you. On 10.3.1 Maylands Town Centre Master Plan, I have a proximity interest due to having a business in the Maylands Town Centre on 8th Avenue, which is included in that plan. So I will leave the room for that item.
Thank you. Councillor Osazowski.
Thank you. I have 3 declarations for tonight. The first one's for 10.1.1, the Morley Station Precinct Structure Plan and Scheme Amendment 100. My mother's house is right on the border of the structure plan area. And I'm also have an association with the Morley Windmills Sports Club, which is located in that structure plan area. It's impartial and I'll be staying in the room. In regards to item 10.1.2, expression of interest process for city properties, I have met with members of the Bayswater Play Group who use the facility at 2 Hudson Street in my role as a councillor, impartial, and I'll be staying in the room. And in regards to 10.2.1, the financial report for the period ended 30th June 2025, Watton Reserve and Surrounds is mentioned in that report, and I have an association with the Morley Windmills Sports Club who lease a facility from the city at that reserve. It's an impartial interest and I'll be staying in the room.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councillor Palmer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is to do with 10.1.2, expression of interest process for city properties. Just confirming that this property that's mentioned is a play group, and though mine are childcare centres, I consider that to be an impartial interest, even though it's non-profit. Thank you.
And you'll be staying in the room?
I'll be staying in the room. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councillor Eason?
Yes, please. Similar to Councillor Osazowski, actually. So, sorry, 10.1.1, it's the same declaration. So I'm affiliated or a member of the Morley Windmills Sports Club, and they lease a property that's within the structure plan that's shown. Impartial, and I'll stay in the room. And the other one is 10.2.1, Watton Reserve and Surrounds is mentioned in the report. And I will, that's the same declaration. I'm a member of the Morley Windmills Sports Club. It's impartial, and I'll stay in the room on that item as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? I'll declare an impartial interest in 10.1.2, expression of interest process for city properties. A deputation is being presented tonight by someone who is known to me, who I previously worked with, and I'll be staying in the room. Anyone else? No? Okay, so we now move on to deputations. And this evening we have 6 in-person deputations, and I'll explain how the process works. Each person who is presenting a deputation will be invited to come forward and speak at the microphone for up to 5 minutes. As we get close to 5 minutes, I'll let you know so that you can conclude your deputation. Once you have finished, councillors may have some questions for you. And we will begin with item 10.1.2, expression of interest process for city properties. And we have Cale Black has requested to speak in opposition of the officer's recommendation. Please come forward.
Thank you, Mayor, councillors and city officers. My deputation is on item 10.1.2, the expression of interest process for city properties. I do not support the officer's recommendation, and in particular, I do not support the sale of 2 Hudson Street. According to the officer's report, this building is currently leased to a community playgroup until 2027 on a peppercorn basis. It is actively used by 2 playgroups across 4 half-days a week and is then utilised for weekend bookings. This site holds significant community benefit, and I believe this far outweighs the short-term financial gain for the city to sell this community site. It is an active community hub which supports local families by providing a city-supported frontline service. As a parent of a young child, I know how important it is to build connections with fellow parents who are going through the same experiences as my partner and I. This community hub helps foster those relationships and connections by providing a method to bring these families together in a nurturing and accessible environment, while at the same time allowing children to play, learn and socialise with each other in a safe space. It also provides a low-cost playgroup to the community and low-cost hire of facilities for community purposes, which in this era of rising costs of living and pressure on household budgets is a much-needed option for families who are doing it tough. If this building was sold and the land developed, these playgroups will have no other home to move to. The officer's report states that no suitable relocation options are available to these community organisations. And if this sale does go ahead, these playgroups would no longer be available for Bayswater families. For some families, this is their support network. They may not have parents or siblings to help them or to ask them questions. They may not have friends who have children who understand what they are going through. When my child was born, the parents group that was formed by the Child Health Centre was vital to us for our mental health and well-being, and to be comforted in the fact that our struggles as first-time parents were not singular to us and were shared by others. I believe it is the role of local governments like the City of Bayswater to care about the well-being of its residents, and this is supported in the City's recent council plan under strategic considerations within the social pillar of supporting well-being, physical activity, connection and cohesion. This strategic consideration would include supporting families through this city-supported frontline service. And the protection of these frontline services are important to the community. I have previously expressed my disappointment with the council's decision and method of closing the infant immunisation clinic, which occurred just a few years ago. If this sale were to proceed, I and the rest of the community are concerned about what other frontline services, either provided or supported by the city, may fall victim to other council decisions which may prioritise short-term financial gain. For many who rely on these frontline services, our libraries, our places of recreation, our community services, this is of great concern. These spaces should be protected as best as possible from what I believe to be short-sighted decisions that provide very little benefit to the community in the long run. I do find it incredibly disappointing, most of all, that the community had to find out about this proposal through the reading of agenda papers that were released late last week. This method of engagement with the community does not build trust and confidence. It does the exact opposite. In closing, I want to reflect on an excerpt from the Chief Executive Officer's message in the recently endorsed council plan. We remain committed to providing welcoming recreational spaces and offering services to strengthen the health and well-being of our residents. Decisions like the one before you leaves the community wondering whether they are seeing this commitment in action by their city and their council. Mayor and councillors, for these reasons and many more, I urge you to please listen to the community. Listen to the hundreds of residents who have already signed the petition. Maintain the city's commitment to strengthen the health and well-being of residents and not proceed with the sale of 2 Hudson Street. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just ask if there are any questions from councillors for you. No, thanks for your deputation.
Thank you.
The next one is in relation to the same item, and we have Brianne Rasmussen has requested to speak in opposition. Please come forward.
Good evening, Mayor, councillors and city officers. My name's Brianne Rasmussen and I'm the president of Casamia Montessori Playgroup. So I'm here tonight not just a representative of our playgroup but also of Bayswater Playgroup, who couldn't be here tonight because of the short notice of for the forum here. I'm here with our dedicated committee members and other supporters to speak passionately against the proposed sale of the land and building at 2 Hudson Street, Bayswater, which is the cherished home to both of our playgroups. We understand this proposal is included in your agenda for the upcoming council meeting on July 22nd. I also want to acknowledge the recent communication from your CEO, which provided some context around the city's intentions. While we appreciate this clarification, we believe it's crucial for councillors to hear directly from the community regarding the actual recommendation in the report before you. Having only recently become aware that the sale of our long-standing community home was even under consideration, we are here to present a clearer and more comprehensive picture of its vital role. The report, we believe, significantly underestimates the true utilisation of 2 Hudson Street. The facility is the vibrant and active home of not one but 2 distinct playgroup services, Casamia Montessori Playgroup and Bayswater Playgroup. Each operates 4 mornings per week, meaning this centre provides crucial early childhood development and parent support through 8 sessions every week, run Monday to Friday. This dual presence offers our community essential choices and a broader range of services catering to diverse family needs. Casamia Montessori Playgroup alone currently supports 57 families, while Bayswater Playgroup supports 43, impacting 100 local families. A significant 53% of Casamia families live right here in the city of Bayswater, with another 20% from our close neighbour Bassendean, who you'll hear don't have a community playgroup of their own. We are experiencing significant growth this year, having finished 2024 with only 37 enrolled families, and we now boast a full dedicated committee. This resurgence is a testament to our resilience, especially after a challenging period last year, where we saw high turnover in committee members and in our session leaders. The site's significance also resonates deeply with Maylands' rich educational history. The 1915 infant school in Maylands was influenced by Maria Montessori's philosophies, and our playgroup proudly continues this legacy, offering a unique and valued Montessori-inspired early learning environment within our community. Beyond our extensive playgroup hours, the premises are regularly hired for private parties on both weekend days, further demonstrating its consistent and broad use by the wider community. My colleague will elaborate on this a little further. I truly appreciate the value and vibrant activity, at 2 Hudson Street, we have extended a heartfelt invitation to the Mayor and all councillors to visit the centre and see its impact for yourself. In response to this petition, our community has already mobilised. We have initiated an e-petition with the City of Bayswater, allowing our broader membership and the community to voice their strong opposition to this sale, clearly demonstrating the widespread community value placed on this site. We understand the pressures of the housing crisis, but we must also acknowledge the ongoing cost of living crisis impacting families in our area. Playgroups offer an incredibly affordable and accessible way for families to connect to parents and for parents to find vital peer support, for children to engage in crucial early childhood learning. As the Telethon Kids Institute research in 2016 powerfully showed, children who attend playgroup are half as likely to face developmental vulnerabilities when starting school. Community playgroups are vital for connected, thriving communities, fostering friendships, peer support and active citizenship. While other playgroups exist locally, recent closures like Noranda and Bassendean community playgroups highlight a growing scarcity of affordable community spaces. Critically, while we understand that there may be an intention to explore partial subdivision, the report before you recommends disposing of 2 Hudson Street as is. This recommendation, coupled with the report's finding that no suitable relocation options were available for our playgroup, is deeply concerning. This isn't just a local issue. It reflects a wider trend of diminishing community spaces, making the retention of 2 Hudson Street even more critical. In fact, when I asked my own daughter about the playgroup closing, she simply asked, "But where will all the kids play, Mummy?" And then she added, "I think the kids will be very sad." Her words cut to the heart of what's at stake, our children's fundamental right to a safe, joyful space to learn and connect. We firmly believe there are opportunities for us to come together to further improve the utilisation of these premises. We would genuinely welcome a chance to discuss this and receive support from the city to do so, ensuring this valuable asset continues to serve Bayswater families for generations to come. We urge you to reconsider the recommendation to sell 2 Hudson Street as is. Instead, we ask you to commit to retaining this valuable land and facility for ongoing community use and to explore genuinely collaborative solutions for any potential partial development that truly aligns with the community's needs and the Playgroup's continued operation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your deputation. I'll just ask if there are any questions from councillors. Councillor Johnson.
Thank you. Thanks, Brianna, for your deputation. You might not know the answer to this, but you mentioned the Bayswater Playgroup. Is that the one that was relocated from another facility, the drill hall up on Murray Street a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. And also you mentioned an update from the CEO. Is that something you received? So this might be a question for you, my apologies. Or was that something that was issued to
you
us?
can
I'm
ask.
not sure what that was referring to.
Yes, there was an update from the CEO today suggesting that the intention is to subdivide the land rather than sell the playgroup as is and sell the car park which is next to the playgroup, which was one of the recommendations in the report, but wasn't the,
Yeah, thank you. I wasn't sure what you're referring to there. Thank you for that.
Any other questions, councillors? Councillor Maleka.
Thank you for your deputation. You mentioned there are 8 sessions held at the venue. How long is each session?
a minimum of 2 hours, but we have our session leader there usually from 9 until 1.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Any other questions? Thank you. You can
Thanks.
take a seat. So we now move on to the next deputation, which is in relation to the same item, and we have Caitlin Conway, who's requested us to speak in opposition.
Good evening all. My name is Caitlin and I'm here tonight not only as the treasurer of Casamere Montessori Playgroup but also as a parent who's attended the playgroup for over a year. My 4-year-old son and 18-month-old daughter are among the many children who thrive within the unique environment of our playgroup at 2 Hudson Street. I understand you are looking at considering offers from developers for this site, and I'm here to implore you to look beyond the immediate financial gain and recognise the invaluable, irreplaceable asset Casamere and Bayswater Playgroup represent to the families of the city of Bayswater. My 4-year-old, like many children his age, is on the cusp of starting school. Casamere, with its Montessori approach, math sessions, crafts and sensory activities, has been an indispensable school readiness resource for him. Here, he's not just playing, he's engaged in purposeful activities that foster concentration, independence and a love for learning, core tenets of Montessori. He's learning to share, to take turns, to follow instructions from adults other than his parents. His fine motor skills are developing through detailed craft work, and his gross motor skills are honed through play with other children and our fantastic outdoor area. Crucially, he's gaining the social and emotional regulation skills essential for a successful transition into kindy in a safe, structured and affordable environment. As for my 18-month-old daughter, her world is expanding rapidly, and Casamere provides the perfect, safe and stimulating environment for her to explore. The variety of toys and inviting layout encourage her natural curiosity. She especially loves the home corner. She's learning through observation, mimicking older children in the mat sessions, and engaging with a diverse range of age-appropriate sensory activities. The early exposure to different stimuli and social settings is fundamental to her emotional and cognitive development. The secure environment allows her to move freely and safely, fostering her independence. But the benefits extend beyond the children. For me and for countless other mums and dads, Casamere is a lifeline. It's a safe place where I can bring my children knowing they're happy and engaged, while also having the invaluable opportunity to connect with other parents facing similar joys and challenges. We share advice, offer support and build friendships. In a world that can often feel isolating for new parents, our playgroup provides a vital network combating parental isolation and fostering a stronger, more resilient community here in the city of Bayswater. The social aspect is immeasurable in its value to the mental well-being of parents, which in turn positively impacts the family unit. Beyond our daily playgroup activities, the building at 2 Hudson Street serves another crucial community function. It's an exceptional low-cost party hire venue, particularly invaluable during our cold, wet winter months. My son's birthday is in July, and as many parents know, finding an affordable, large indoor venue, large enough for family and friends in winter, can be a struggle. I recently hosted his soccer-themed birthday party at Casamere. For a flat rate of $150, we had access to the entire building filled with a huge array of toys for all ages, a functional kitchen to prepare food, and a fantastic grassed outdoor area that perfectly suited his soccer theme between showers of rain. Compare this to costs for other indoor venues within the area. An indoor play centre like Lollipops would have charged us $575 and Mighty Jungle $525 for our party of 21 children, and even more for a larger party. This highlights how Casamia provides an accessible, affordable option for families having parties within the city of Bayswater. This isn't just about my family either. The public recognises the value as the venue as a great party hire venue. In the last financial year, the building was booked out 72% of weekend days. This demonstrates a significant community demand for this type of affordable, versatile venue. I urge you to consider the profound positive impact Casamia Montessori Playgroup and Bayswater Playgroup at 2 Hudson Street has on the lives of our youngest residents and their families, and its broader role as an affordable community hub. It is an investment in early childhood development, in social cohesion, and in the overall well-being of our City of Bayswater community. Please do not sell our playgroup building. Instead, let us work together to ensure this vital community asset continues to flourish for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just see if there are any questions from councillors. Councillor Johnson.
Thank you for that. So this might or might not be a treasurer question, so let me know. Do you know how long your lease currently is?
I believe it's until 2027. We signed a 2-year lease earlier in the year.
Were you hoping to sign a longer lease, or was 2 years what you were after?
Oh, we were hoping a longer lease would have definitely been appreciated if we could have got it.
Thank you.
Councillor Latta.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify one of the things you mentioned, that it's booked out. It was at 72% of weekend days. Is that correct?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Councillor Eason.
Probably just one. So you mentioned lots of toys available for kids of all ages. Is there a toy library that operates from there as well?
No, not a toy library. We just have a very big storeroom full of many toys.
Thanks.
Any other questions? If not, thank you for your deputation. Okay, so we move on to the next one, which is in relation to the same item, and we have Marnie McIlrath speaking.
Sorry, can I, Madam Mayor, I would like to declare a conflict of interest.
Oh, go
if
ahead.
I can. Also with regards to item 10.1.2, we celebrated my daughter's second birthday at that playgroup venue, so I thought that it's an impartial.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please go ahead.
All right, thank you. Good evening. My name is Marnie McIlrath, and I'm here to strongly oppose the proposed sale of 2 Hudson Street in Bayswater. The building currently houses 2 vital community services, the Bayswater Playgroup and Casamia Montessori Playgroup. I am speaking on behalf of Casamia, both as a parent of 3 young children who attend the sessions and as the session leader of the playgroup. So what is Casamia? Well, it's a Montessori-inspired playgroup that currently runs 4 sessions a week, led by a dedicated educator, and that's me. What is Montessori? Montessori is an educational philosophy which is child-led and fosters independence. Children are given opportunities for learning and discovery through play in a well-prepared environment set up with a range of hands-on activities that incorporate key areas of childhood development. So things that include cultural, language, mathematics, social emotional skills, fine and gross motor skills, and practical life skills. Now, our playgroup is equipped with a large range of Montessori, role play, and open-ended toys that the children have access to. But what makes us special is that every week I set up a range of new, engaging, hands-on activities for the children to explore. I love a theme, so I set my room up with a theme, and I'll explore that for a few weeks with them. So, for example, we've done things like under the sea, weather, things that go, the life cycle of frogs, and space so far since I've been here. So think when you walk in, there's play tables set up with these imaginative themes, a new art or craft activity every week for the kids to do. And I do at least 2 sensory activities a week, sometimes more because I can't help myself. And think messy play things like Play-Doh, rice, beans, slime, oobleck, chocolate mud, jelly, coloured rice, play sand, water play. So the kids are always super excited when they walk in and they just want to see what's been set up for them to play with that week. During the session, we also gently introduce children to a bit of educational structure and routine. So while there's lots of opportunities for free play during the session, I also run 2 math sessions during the playgroup where we introduce concepts like weather, days of the week, letter sound, phonemic awareness association, numbers, counting, reading books and rhymes. We also do a shared morning tea and the children set their own place at the table with real cups and plates, like the real ones. And they sit together, they eat together, everyone brings a piece of fruit, we cut it up, everyone shares it, and then at the end they do their own dishes. It's actually amazing seeing children as young as 18 months set their own place, use a pair of tongs, pour their own cup of water, and then do their own dishes at the end. A huge amount of growth happens in a very short amount of time. Now, just a little bit about me. So I stepped into the role at the beginning of the year, and I am passionate about this playgroup, and I intend to stay. I'm committed to this playgroup. I am an experienced primary and high school teacher. I've taught in a range of contexts over the years, but I specialise in visual arts and drama, so that's my background. I bring a wealth of professional educational expertise to this role. On top of that, I'm also a mother of 3 little kids, as I mentioned. I've got a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old and an 8-month-old. And yes, I'm in the thick of it, so I understand what the parents are going through. Just to add to that as well, my 2 eldest children are neurodiverse. They have some developmental delays and sensory processing differences. So I've got a lot of first-hand experience when it comes to intervention in young children, and I'm very passionate about fostering an inclusive environment and supporting other families who may be on a similar journey to me and gently helping them navigate that. So I'm bringing a wealth of experience and expertise to this role, and I'm doing so because I love this community. I feel like I'm making a positive impact, and I can see lots of potential for this group to grow. Since I started running this group, enrolments have been trending upwards, and we've received excellent word of mouth from all members. We've had lots of new trials. Most people who trial decide to stay on, and we've got more people trialling in the upcoming weeks. I think we currently have more than 50 enrolments at this point, and I'm expecting this number to increase. In conclusion, we know how crucial those early years of childhood development are, and Casimir gives families access to a high-quality, teacher-led program that we are able to provide for a more affordable price because of the building we operate out of. If 2 Hudson Street is sold, Casimir loses its home, and that would be to the detriment of the community. We provide an invaluable services to families with young children, so please retain the site and allow us to continue to provide this service. Thank you.
Thank you for your deputation. I'll just see if there are any questions from councillors. I have a question.
Yeah.
You were just talking about enrolments growing.
Yeah.
What's the maximum capacity that you can accept?
I think we probably, maybe 20 children per day would probably maybe be maximum for the space, but I think we could probably add a couple more. And then if we hit that, I mean, once upon a time, the group also operated on a Friday. We could open up a Friday session as well. And we've talked about maybe looking at holiday programs as well for school readiness. And yeah, we've got potential to do things in the afternoon possibly too.
And can I just ask, the families that come on a Monday or a Tuesday, do they come multiple days or are they just coming one day?
Some do, yeah. Some like it so much they come multiple days. And a lot of those people see it as school readiness and they're trying to get their kids used to an educational environment and the kids just love it, yeah.
Thank you. Any questions, councillors? No? Thanks very much for your deputation.
Thank you.
Okay, so we now move on to item 10.1.3, release of confidential resolutions in relation to the Eastern Metropolitan Regional Council, and we have Georgina Kerr has requested to speak in opposition.
Sorry. Thank you. Georgina Kerr, Bedford. So as per the information available in the agenda for next week's meeting, I noted that there have been 5 separate items relating to the Eastern Metropolitan Regional Council that have been discussed behind closed doors in the past 10 months. I'm speaking against the office's recommendation to release only the resolutions from these items because I don't believe that that meets the standards that ratepayers have a right to expect when it comes to transparency. So as of the publication of the City's 2023-24 annual report, I believe the City had approximately a 24% equity share in the EMRC. Since those financial statements were prepared, as you would all be aware, further members have left the EMRC, with only Bassendean and Bayswater currently remaining, as far as we know, with Bassendean also having discussed such matters behind closed doors recently. In the audited financial statements that accompanied that annual report, the City's share of the net profit for the EMRC, I believe, was around $4 million. Furthermore, waste and waste management is universally considered one of the core functions of local government. When ratepayers think of where our rates are going or where they want them to go, roads and rubbish are a common catchphrase. Therefore, the EMRC is core council business and ratepayers have a right to know what's going on. Whilst releasing the resolutions may be a nod to transparency, it does not go far enough. The report's recommendation and councillor votes are all important for interested ratepayers to understand the background and rationale behind what I imagine, given what's played out in the media, are important decisions with significant financial ramifications for the city and for ratepayers. Furthermore, councillors should be accountable for their own votes and decisions. Publishing only the resolutions, given that councillors are not allowed to criticise council decisions, may have an unfair impact on councillors who voted against one or more council resolutions if their ward electors are unhappy with the resolution itself. This also links closely to one of the City of Bayswater's values that was endorsed by this council in the Strategic Council Plan earlier this month: accountability. That is, we are responsible for our decisions and actions and have integrity. If the council is not prepared to live by this value, what was the point of endorsing the plan? I do acknowledge that some parts of the relevant reports may still need to be redacted to meet legal obligations. I suggest that this could be done on a case-by-case basis rather than withholding all reports and recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just ask if there are any questions. No. Thanks for your deputation. So we now move on to the next item, which is 10.3.1, Maylands Town Centre Master Plan, and we have Rebecca Hall asking to speak in support of the officer's recommendation.
Hi everyone, my name's Rebecca Hall. I'm the chair of the Maylands Business Association and I'm here to talk in support of endorsing the Maylands Revitalisation Master Plan. Look, the short version is that we encourage and support the council to endorse the plan and obviously seek funding from the state government and other grants. The MBA is willing to support and assist the council as we can in seeking that funding. We also too are interested in providing ongoing engagement with local businesses as the plan progresses. We would like to ensure the plan's delivery supports both community outcome and commercial viability. Just to, I guess, assist in your deliberations, I'd like to highlight a few points. This is a long-term plan for the Maylands Town Centre, which has a range of businesses and services that are valuable to our community. All town centres need ongoing improvement and development to ensure that the area continues to thrive and is a destination precinct for locals and visitors. This plan offers a guiding framework for future revitalisation for Maylands. This plan has been developed with significant community engagement, so it provides a really clear community-backed vision, which I think is really important to remember in terms of endorsing that it's actually a lot of time, effort has been put in by local businesses, also community members in terms of putting that vision together. We appreciate it does require significant funding, and whilst the initial funding of $25 million has been committed by the state government, we'd hope that once the plan has been endorsed and they actually have a plan and something to fund specifically, that we would be able to generate that. I think the other thing too to remember is this is not something that's going to happen, within a 12-month period. It's something that would be implemented over a number of years. So the funding wouldn't be something that we'd be asking for the whole thing to be funded, immediately. So I think that's important to remember. Personally, I've had a business in Maylands for the past 10 years, as well as been involved in community groups. And during this time, I've seen many changes occur in the town centre, which is due to a combination of local businesses, community groups, and also to the council. And so, as I'm also a resident of the City of Bayswater, and so also as a business owner, this plan offers a way forward so that everyone can work towards shared goals, and that Maylands can continue to stay vibrant and offer its unique character that we all love. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your deputation. I'll just ask if there are any questions from councillors. Can I just clarify,
Yes.
if I recall correctly, your business is on Watley Crescent?
Watley Crescent, yes.
And the name of your business?
So Maylands Wellness Centre.
That's right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thanks. And I'm speaking, I guess, on behalf of all
the business
businesses
association.
in Maylands. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's all of the in-person deputations, and we have also received 2 written deputations tonight in relation to item 10.1.2, expression of interest process for city properties from Renee Miles, expressing opposition to the officer's recommendation, and item 10.3.1, Maylands Town Centre Master Plan from Shannon Lee in support of the officer's recommendation, and these have been provided to councillors and are published on the city's website, and I will take those as read. And before I go on to item 7, I missed before, I'd like to welcome the member for Maylands, Dan Bull, who's in the gallery tonight. Welcome, great to see you. So we'll now move on to item 7, which is question on agenda reports. And we'll start with the items that were subject to deputations. So, councillors, are there any questions on item 10.1.2? Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. I do have a number of questions. First of all, with regards to the 2 Hudson Street property, my first question is whether the city is aware that 2 playgroups currently use the property, because in the report it only mentioned 1. So
I'll go to the CEO.
Through you, Madam Mayor, yes, we are aware there is 2, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Now, if I heard correctly, one of the deputies mentioned that there was a playgroup in Norenda. I had something, Norenda Community Centre or something like that, that was closed. Does the city have any information about this? What I heard, something in Norenda.
I'll go to the CEO.
Through you, Madam Mayor, I'm not aware, but I can take that on notice, Deputy Mayor, and then we can do some inquiries and clarify.
Thank you.
The only thing I can think of, Deputy Mayor, is the space where the Switch Centre is now, used to be utilised by families for that similar type of parties, but now that's leased to Switch, like Arana.
Right, yes, okay, thank you. So I'm just going to my questions. Okay, so I have questions with regards to the first property in the item. 154 Leek Street in Bayswater. As shown in the photo, there is at the bottom of the lot, there is a car park. So my question is whether the intention to sell the whole lot is that we will lose the car park. Will there be any impact on those using the reserve? And why wouldn't the city recommend subdividing and keeping the car park?
I'll go to the CEO.
Yeah, through you, Madam Mayor. So I suppose, Deputy Mayor, that's the whole idea of this process, is to seek expressions of interest to see what the market will bring. So whilst we don't have a fixed view on that, then the expressions will look at that. But I also understand that there's a component of that lot that we're not able to sell. So I'll clarify that for council between now and next week to clarify that.
Thank you. Which component we cannot sell, right? Which section of the lot?
That's
Thank
correct.
you. Great, was it clear? Thank you. I have questions with regards to 23C Redgum Way in Morley. Sorry, it's actually not about that. It's a more general question. Does the city have a list of local community groups seeking venues to operate from? I know it was mentioned a few times in the past. I never saw that list. So do we have a list?
I'll go to the CEO.
Through you, Madam Mayor. We do have a list of ones that were not successful, Deputy Mayor, as part of previous leases, as you would know. So we do have that. I'm not aware of a more broader list that we would have, but I can certainly check with staff in relation to any inquiries that come through the city to see if there's any more than the leases that council has considered in the previous months.
Can we get that list, what we do have, those that we answered, just so we're aware of them, because I think there were a few. Thank you. I do have a question with regards to Lot 27, Guildford Road, Bayswater. So the report mentions that the lot that is proposed here in the markings is proposed to be rezoned. I have my first question is, all the lots around it, along Guildford Road and Slade Street, are they also proposed to be rezoned as part of the TPS 25?
Sorry, if we're going to be discussing the properties on Guildford Road, I have a proximity interest.
Okay, then if you'd like to leave.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I can repeat it. So
If they're going to be rezoned. Yep, so I'll go to the Director of Community Services.
Thank you for the question. A majority of those properties along Guildford Road are zoned residential. In terms of the draft local planning scheme, that is confidential at this stage because it hasn't been presented to council, and that will be considered in a public forum at next council meeting.
Okay, thank you. So what is the advantage of going ahead with the sale or expression of interest on the inner lot that is marked in the report before it is rezoned?
Thank you.
I'll go to, who wants that? I'll go to the CEO.
Yeah, through you, Madam Mayor, as council would be aware, council considered a lease for a property abutting Guildford Road in March of this year, and there was an amendment to the resolution for officers to consider options. So the intention was, with putting this property within this report, is to commence that process with just getting some options for council to consider. If council wanted to consider the broader residential properties as part of that as well, then we could consider that as an option as part of the EOI process as well.
Thank you. So just my final question, what is the advantage of undertaking this process now before rezoning, or are there advantages to wait, rezone, finalize the TPS process, and then progress with this?
I'll go to the CEO.
So through you, Madam Mayor, the advantage of going out now is to see whether there is a market out there for this site at all. And that's the intention of this process, is just to see if there is a market out there.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just checking I don't have any other questions. That's it. Thank you.
Can we get, are you going to be talking about, is anyone else going to be talking about the properties on Guildford Road before I get Councillor Johnson back in? No? Okay. We'll get Councillor Johnson back in. Councillor Johnson, we're still asking questions about this item. Councillor Latta.
Thank you. Can we get some clarification from the CEO about the conversations mentioned around 2 Hudson Street and different options for that?
Through you, Madam Mayor, I did reach out to Bree this afternoon just to clarify a few things, because within the report, unfortunately, Council, on page 122 in the hard copy, there's some background information that's missing. It's in the online version. So from a formatting point of view, some things have been dropped out, and we'll clarify that through an addendum. But one of the reasons I wanted to reach out to Bree this afternoon, and we did meet on site at 4:30, was to clarify that we will be doing an addendum to Part 1 of the resolution, just to reconfirm, because the current one states for consideration of disposal to include in there and part disposal, which incorporates the conversation that we had with them this afternoon around that option 3 within the report, which could be the car park component. Because by doing the car park component could then facilitate an option for council to consider, but then still retain the functions of the playgroup and Casimir on that site.
I have another question about the Slade Street property. Could the city give us a little bit more information about the creek and its ecological function in that place and what that means to if that were to become privately owned?
I'll go to the Director of Community Services.
Thank you, Councillor Ladder. So that drainage or that brook or spring, if you wish to call it, that runs through there, that would have to be retained as part of any future development, and that will be part of due diligence if you were to sell the site or a development was to be undertaken on that property. The site itself is quite complex because there are contamination factors on that site as well, which is why the expression of interest is being sought to see what kind of market is there before we undertake a full-scale planning exercise on the property.
Okay, could you also, could the city provide some information if that did become private property and did need to be retained? Are there conditions that are able to be put on future owners about how that is maintained?
I'll go to the Director.
Yes, through the Mayor. So the city has the ability to place Section 78 notifications on the title, restrictive covenants on the title through the sale process, if it goes through that process. So at this stage, it's just an expression of interest to see if there's anyone in the market that would like to consider the site, what would they like to consider the site for. Could be for a ground lease, it could be for development, it could be for purchase, we don't know. But if you were to proceed with a complete sale of the site in the future, there are certainly mechanisms that this council can put in place to restrict development on that section, but notwithstanding that, under the planning framework, that would have to be retained anyway, in some way.
Thank you. Any other questions on this item, councillors? No? Okay. So we'll now move on to the next item, which is 10.1.3. Anyone have any questions on this item? No? And 10.3.1. Deputy Mayor. Oh, sorry. Deputy Mayor, go ahead.
Thank you. The officer's report mentions on our online page 57, but it's under one of the maps, that no funding commitments for the design and delivery of any of the staging elements have been given by the state government as yet. But as the city knows, there was a public commitment by the former member for Maylands in October 2023 for funding for Watley Crescent component, or one of the components. So I would like to find out what information does the city know about this commitment and whether that can be added to the report.
I'll go to the Director.
Through the Chair, officers, when they prepare the report, they basically put in the commitment from the state that's been given to us in writing. So basically what that is the $15 million plus the $10 million and also the $325,000 towards the actual study. So they're the actual commitments that we received in writing, and that's what's been put into the report. We are aware that there has been some other comments made online and across social media. That's perhaps something that can be pursued with the state if this plan gets adopted.
Thank you. So if I recall, Mayor and Rhodes in the briefing that they gave us confirmed that funding when they provided the information. So I'm trying to understand what will be the process by the city to confirm that funding, the amount, and to which section it applies to.
Go to the Director.
Through the chair, it is the $25 million and the 325. The 325,000 has been spent on the actual plan. The 25 million, part of that has already been spent on some components like the Hotham Bridge and the Caledonian Crossing closure. There are other components that are going to be funded from that $25 million, which includes 8th Avenue and 7th Avenue intersections. And there are other unfunded components, so that's all listed in the report. I think page 260 has a table in there that states which components are funded and which aren't.
Sorry, Director, through you, Madam Mayor. There was a funding commitment above that $25 million confirmed by Main Roads in the briefing that they gave us a year and a half ago. So I'm trying to understand what is that funding commitment above the 25 mil, and does the city have any information?
I'll go to the Director.
Through the chair, we haven't received anything formally from Main Roads saying that we're receiving anything above the funding that's already been committed. We can ask that question again, and hopefully we'll get an answer in time for the council meeting.
Any other questions on this item, councillors? No? We'll get Councillor Ladder back in the room. So, councillors, are there any other items that you would like to ask questions on? Councillor Johnson?
Thanks. Can I ask about 10.1.1, the Morley Station?
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't written the whole title down. So there's a section there of Wootton Reserve, and it says that's subject to a future thing. So if we, so can I just get clarity, please? So if we adopt what's the recommendation in there, what happens to that? Like, does that maintain its current? Like, what's its planning status?
I'll go to the Director.
Thank you. So the structure plan, so when the city undertakes a structure plan, it has to accord with the Metropolitan Region Scheme underlying zoning. As this structure plan principally relates to residential or commercial type development, the section south of Morley Station precinct is actually zoned industrial under the Metropolitan Region Scheme. So therefore you cannot put in place a local planning framework until that Metropolitan Region Scheme has been modified. Council, I believe in May from recollection, initiated the MRS rezoning of that portion south of the Morley Station itself from industrial to urban, and that is with the with the Department of Planning, Lands and Heritage at the moment. And as written in the report, it's anticipated that that MRS rezoning will be initiated in August of this year by the West Australian Planning Commission, subject to them initiating it, and that's what they want to do. If it is initiated at that point, then the city can proceed with the planning process of that area, and that would entail community consultation in relation to the structure plan for just that portion, because as it currently stands, that portion is excluded from this structure plan.
Okay, so that's quite a separate process then, rather than being integrated into this later on. Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Any other questions on this item? Go ahead.
Sorry, just one more. There's a little section of drainage which is proposed to be zoned residential, I believe. Just wondering if I can understand what the consequences of that would be.
I'll go to the Director.
In terms of, yeah.
Thank you.
Drainage reserve.
If I can refer, Councillor Johnson, are they the properties that are sitting behind Walter Road from memory? Yes. The city has been liaising with its engineering department, and they have advised that those reserves are now surplus to the needs and are not required because they're culverted. Is that the correct term, Luke? Yep. They're culverted now, so you can actually incorporate either development or roadways through there. So that's why they have been included as part of this process.
Thank you. That's all.
Any other questions on this item? No? Are there any other items that councillors have questions on? If not, I will close the agenda briefing forum at 7:53 p.m. Thank you, councillors.